All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, you already know what time it is. And right here, right now, we actually have a West Coast hip hop legend right here live on the line, man. We got the one and only Hardhead right here, right now. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good, man. And yourself?
I'm doing great, man. Best as I possibly could be, man. I gotta ask, how's everything out there in California, man? Like I've been seeing these news reports, man, that you guys are pretty much back to normal life, man. It must feel good after this past 2 years, man. It's been terrible.
Yeah, man. I've been in the studio for the whole time. I ain't been outside. Didn't want to go outside, and it's getting some better. But you know, they say these holidays come, they be like another wave coming. So we don't ever know if it's going up, down. We don't know no more.
I definitely hear you on that, man. I honestly I kind of forget I kind of forget what normal life feels like personally. I forget what life used to be like before the mask, man.
Yeah, yeah. It's almost like it's going to be different for people that's born within this year or two. They'll never know how we used to be. They'll never know.
But I got to take you back to the beginning of your amazing career this far, man. And I have to ask, what actually made you decide to venture into the music industry initially, man? Because honestly, you're so gifted and talented at what you do, man. Your roots run so deep.
Yeah, since a kid, me and my brother, he always said he wanted to grow up and be a gangster, and I was like, I'm going to be an artist when I grow up. I used to record over all my mama tapes. I used to cover the part up on the back and go in the bathroom and always record over all her tapes. I remember one day we was driving in the car, and she put her Roger tape on, and she heard me, come on, man, she damn near killed me.
I'm not gonna lie, I did that a lot to my mother as well, man. You know, I freaking tape, man, is definitely a blessing, but a curse as well when it comes to those tapes, man. Because once you find out you can put tape over those little holes, man, you can tape over anything.
Yeah, that's what I used to be doing, and I more than I knew, I learned a lot from that. More than what I knew, because later on, I started saying to myself, man, I'm glad I used to be doing them tapes and everything because I was familiar with it. And you know, then you couldn't mess up. You had to like try to say the whole thing and don't mess up. Like, so it was like training me before I even knew it.
And also as well, man, in the year 2012, you actually released you collaborated on the song with Deacon of the Church's single "I'm Gone." I was wondering, how did yourself and Deacon get connected, and of course, what was it like just working in the studio with that phenomenal artist?
Yeah, you know, that's my bro. We knew each other from the streets when we was kids. Well, that's when he first met me, but we ran back across each other across the years, and that's how I got my GG worldwide distribution was through Deacon through Snoop. And you know that song "I'm Gone." Snoop put it on his My Works too. I think it's the bonus track, and he spoke all on it and everything. I think it went gold or something. And you know, it's amazing. My boy Deacon, like, he's a good entrepreneur and type of person to be around when you learn in the industry because he's tied in and connected all the way since Easy and back to them days. So just hanging around his type of character and person, it like gets you ready for the industry.
And I have to ask as well, man, like when you actually had that song actually on Snoop Dogg's project, I have to ask, man, like, why? How did that come to be? Did Snoop just hit you guys up and ask, or did he just, just go out of his way and put that on his project without you guys knowing until it dropped?
Honestly, he did it without us knowing it until it dropped. And he spoke all on the song. He talked on the beginning, on the outro, because it was the bonus last song, and he did it without us even knowing.
I gotta say as well, it must have definitely brought your guys' streams up, man, because I believe around 2012 was when streaming just started becoming a thing. You know, it was kind of the ringtones were starting to actually kind of fade out, and the streaming was starting to come in.
Yes, sir. That's what it was, and we had got our distribution way back then before it cracked open the way it did. So we was already kind of ahead of the game because Snoop. He laced us up. He did the whole deal with Empire and just gave it to us. It was like 9 of us, I think. And I'm like this. Deacon always said I'm the one that stayed with it and still utilizing it and took more advantage of it than all the rest of them.
And also as well, man, in the same year of 2012, August 28th to be exact, you actually released the phenomenal album titled Grind Hard. I was wondering if you can actually shed some light on this iconic project. And of course, do you actually have any plans to release a 10-year anniversary next year in 2022?
Yeah. That project was crazy because I ran across. I think first I ran across. Well, BD Knockout is a good friend of mine too. I met through one of my boys, Cujo, and once we linked up, we stayed tied together. But when I hooked up with Corrupt, I had went over there with my cousin Big U. You know, Big U, my first cousin. So I went over there and I told him, I said, man, I need to hook up with Corrupt to get this verse. He was messing around with me for a while. Then he called Corrupt and said, man, I'm about to send Hardhead up there. I get you to do this verse for him. He was like, all right. So I went up to Corrupt house and did the verse there with him. And then I left there and went back to where my cousin then was, and Cocaine was there. And so I hooked up with Cocaine, and that's how Cocaine and Deacon real good friends too. So they hooked up with me, and we did I'm Gone on the Grind Hard album. That album came together just out of nowhere. It's like the guy or somebody was with me. It just all came together. I didn't spend a lot of money. Them dudes was like, give me $500. They shot the video, did everything. And the money I gave when they bought us all drinks with it. It was just like, it was crazy, man.
I gotta say as well, man, it definitely is a phenomenal project, man. You know what I mean? That was actually the first album that I actually heard, where I actually first discovered you, in my personal opinion, man. Still one of my favorite projects you guys ever put out.
Right, mine too.
And also as well, man, you are also the CEO and owner of Hardhead Productions. I was wondering, what actually made you decide to start up this phenomenal company? And of course, what services do you actually offer to the general public today?
Yeah, you know, Hardhead Productions came up because that's my artist name, and I was producing artists too. Well, I was working with Dre's son, Curtis Young, at the time, and my boy Big to the Boy, my pop G Pops, even this dude Sam, man. It was a few of us that was together at the time, and that's how it all came together. We put the studio. Well, the first one was in Riverside in the basement. Once we built that studio, we put like a few years in there, and then I went to San Bernardino. I stayed there like about 14 years. I had a studio out there, and that's when Hardhead Productions came up. Yeah, when my boy Westside bugged him off East Street, downtown. And we was running it there for a long time. And like I said, once I got the distribution from Snoop and we hooked them up together, Snoop just took over everything. Like, I didn't need nothing else after that. Once he kind of like heard me, it's like what you said. Once that Grind Hard project and certain things hit around, he just reached out to us. And I seen Snoop about 2 weekends ago at the game, and he was telling us then, like, yeah, man, I hooked that up for y'all so y'all can get y'all money. And some of these people just ain't doing it. Like it's been a long road from here. It's a trip that you even bring that up, 'cause it got my mind going back to that project. I put a lot of work in it with a lot of places, hooking up with people to get it off video with Cocaine. We was in Watts with Deacon. Deacon took us somewhere in Watts where one of his homeboy house was. He got us all the burns. Man, them dudes do everything for me. Like, it's like I just be blessed, man. It's just crazy. They do everything for me. It's a trip. But that project was crazy, and I love that project because I put a lot of time and effort, and they helped me.
And also as well, man, August 14th of 2020, you actually released my personal favorite single, titled It's On. I was wondering, what is the story and inspiration behind that phenomenal song? And of course, where can we actually buy or stream it today if we haven't already done so?
Yeah, it should be out on all platforms right now. I was in a real grind mode when I did that. I was in San Bernardino, like I said, at that studio. And when I did It's On, I was at a time in my life to where I was peaking some. Now, I think that's when I started peaking some. After Trippy spoke that song, 'cause that's one of my favorite songs. A lot of people, everybody, I have people from years back share that song on my page, and I'll be like, man, people do not leave that song. That song is here to stay forever.
I gotta say as well, man, even not only is the bars hot in that song, man, but also the album artwork as well. Just the artwork for that single, man. How you actually had the judge gavel, man. I really like the fact that you actually made yourself judge and jury actually on that cover, man. I find that was creative.
Yeah, it was on. It was on. I had to and I wanted to do something that every person just can't do. When I'm learning more about this game as I grow, people want what they can't have, and they want to see what they can't do. So I've been trying to find, and I've been coming to realize that I kind of like being in that perspective of the game because people attract to it more. It's weird how my whole chemistry of everything, how I became the artist and creativity into the music I do and my artworks and the pictures. It's like I'm from Los Angeles, California, where still I grew up in the '80s down there, man. It ain't a few of us. It's only a few of us alive still and breathing, man. I'm from a different era to where I got to bring life to it and share it with the people because where a lot of things is right now, my growing up took it there.
And also as well, man, in the year 2020, you were actually featured on 2 songs alongside Boom Bam of Compton's Most Wanted. I was wondering if you can actually tell our listeners a bit more about these singles, and of course, how did yourself and Boom Bam initially get connected?
Oh, Boom Bam is a good friend of mine, and I've been knowing him a long time now, a good 15 years. And when I was at San Bernardino, he used to come to the studio with us. I have a lot of music recorded on him. And you know that it's on track a lot of them songs I produced the beat, mixed and mastered them. I did everything around the song, especially with the Boom Bam songs. I recorded them songs. I think TMG produced the control beat, and I mixed it and mastered it, and we put some work in. We went down. When we did that, we went there. New Park. We went to the park and had my boy TMG shooting, and we just went and said we're gonna go do this video. And next thing you know, everybody from Compton just started pulling up, lowriders, everything from everywhere. We didn't even really call a lot of people, but Bam, him being who he is, he kind of was just saying too, man, once they see us up there, they gonna come. Man, when we shot that video after that day, the people were saying, man, that park hadn't been like that since Eazy-E was there.
Oh, damn. I gotta say as well, you even had Big to the Boy in the song Control as well, man. You had some heavy hitters actually on those songs.
Oh, my new album, Big was here, 3 days ago? Big was here 3 days ago. Just did another 16 for my album. He on 3 or 4 of my songs that I'm doing for my next project.
And I have to ask, when we're actually on, now that you brought up your new album, man, and we're on the topic of it, I know you can't let too many cats out of the bag, of course, because, the project isn't completed yet, but I have to ask, man, what can our listeners actually expect from this project when it does drop to the general public, man? Because I'm sitting here right now excited, just knowing that there's more Hardhead on the way.
Oh, yeah, man, I've been working on this project for a while, and I said, man, I'm going to put a project I was going to do 12 songs, and then it turned into 15, then it turned into 20, and now it's turning into 25, and I ain't backing down. I'm not going to be oh, there's too many songs, no, whatever. I got a lot of heat, and I'm trying to reach I'm trying to reach my era, older than me, and younger than me. I am going to hit all brackets of that. I've been putting a lot of work in, and my whole goal to this is hitting the age range, mine, over me, and under me. I'm going to pull them all in. Everybody's going to love this project. All my folks that's hearing it right now, Big was just here the other day, like I said, and I played a few songs with him, and he was just y'all finna love this. It's finna be something.
And also as well, you are also a member and founder of the hip-hop collective New West Association. I was wondering, what is the story behind that amazing group? And of course, how did you actually meet the other members?
Yeah, it been once I was doing the Hardhead production where I still got that. And then I hooked up with Holiday, Ray, Killer, even Bam done participated in doing some projects with us pertaining to that. And Big to the Boys a part of that. White Mike, which they call him Soldier, even really Deacon. I could go down the line of the ones that's like motivating, and we're producing this project that we about to release soon. And this is other than my project. This is the New West Association project that we're working on, and we got a lot of songs for that. And you know, it's some of us been knowing each other a long time. Some of us just met each other. Some from Long Beach, Watts, Compton, L.A. I put a whole lot of my friends from a lot of different places together in one spot at one time. I'll be sending songs to them, getting vocals from other ones. He'll show up to the studio, but I've been managing some kind of way to get all these artists together on this project, man. And you talk about some work that we've been doing. I'm impressed myself, like, and it's just been coming together. And the trip about it is that some people be like, New West, but like some of the other artists that have been out for a while be thinking we like trying to replace them. Like, oh, they the new, what they trying to say, we the old. Man, it ain't got nothing to do with that stuff. Man, this is some new people with some new voices, some new faces, with some new talent, and gonna be making some new music, and that's all it is. And anybody got any type of like aggression or any kind of way, I hope they open up and talk to me about it instead of being subliminal. Because you know, some of these artists that have been around for a while, they don't take too much of a liking to it. Like, or it could just be me or the way I'm moving and not really intertwining with them, because a lot of them, I'll be wondering, do they want to see us make it? And I don't want to be around, you know, no kind of negative energy about this West Coast music, because I'm born and raised here, and I don't need nobody to solidify me for the work that I do. And that's why you see me with the certain artists that you do see me with, but you see me do a lot of work with artists that's unknown or by myself, because I don't want it to be like I used them to get where I'm at, or they had to help me or do none of this. I'm doing these things on my own, and a lot of this music, I'm making all these beats and recording, going to these studios and everything that's going on. So it's been a little kind of flare up of smoke behind it, but it's going to be all good because I respect the ones that came before me, and I'm going to let them see that, but that ain't going to stop me from doing what I'm doing.
And also, as well, I actually read an article pertaining to your group, man, that you guys are actually considered the modern-day NWA as well.
Yeah, because, you know, some people, I had a dude hit me on my internet trying to be like, oh, man, y'all trying to be like NWA. Well, man, I ain't trying to be like them. We from the same hood, same places, same streets. So if there's any similarity what's going on to it, because we from the same places.
And also as well, man, March 26th of this year, 2021, you actually released a single titled Liquor and Tree featuring Killa, man. I was wondering, can you tell our listeners a bit more about your brand new single? And of course, where can we actually stream it today?
Well, I'm waiting on my plaque from iTunes right now, because I did number 3 on iTunes, and I got to get my one till we hit Billboard number 17. And it's on all platforms right now, under Liquor and Tree. If you look it up on YouTube, just put Hardhead Topic or something in there and it'll come up. But it's everywhere, and that song is most definitely banging. And we put the video up on YouTube a little while ago. That song is like really making waves. It's on a Breakfast Club right now. It's my boy from Compton to New York radio is playing it. I got a few. It's a lot of things going on with that song. It's really doing more than what I thought it was.
And I gotta say as well, man, definitely a phenomenal song. In my personal opinion, I think it's dope that it's in the top 3. But I gotta say, it's definitely worthy enough to hit number 1, man. So I hope it climbs 2 more steps up that chart, man, because you definitely deserve to be number 1 on iTunes.
Yeah, man, we finna get behind it and keep pushing. That's what we go push for a while. I'm finna do get some wonders finna happen. Like a lot of things finna go on right now, and you will be knowing, and we will be in contact, and you will be a part of it. Because I'm interested in how you even approaching it and the way you dealing with it. A lot of these other radio stations and these hosts, if they was more like this, you know, the business would be different. You really like addressing and handling it way better than a lot of people are that I know that's in this radio business. They make it like you need them or you got to deal with them, and you make it more like I need y'all too. We in this together. It's a whole different vibe you give off than a lot of people that deal with from radio.
Hey man, I gotta say that right there, man. Feedback like that helps me keep going. Cause like honestly, man, that's why I got into radio personally. Cause I noticed stuff like that when I was watching interviews. This is a fan. You know what I mean? I noticed a lot of people, they would kind of the interviewers would kind of like undermine the artist, if that makes sense. And I'm kind of sitting back being like, dude, like these guys are giving you their time, man. It's not the other way around. Like these artists, realistically, with this day and age, you guys don't really need interviews. You know what I mean? You really don't.
Right.
You can just promote your music on your IG, on your social media, buy ads and whatnot, man. Realistically, if it wasn't for artists like you, I wouldn't have a job.
Right, right. But you show it. A lot of these people will probably be in the same predicament, but they acting like they just God's gift to the planet.
I agree with that, man. You know what I mean? I think it's because some radio stations, man, they get a few big people and then they think they're huge, right? But at the end of the day, man, it doesn't matter how many big people you get. You got to remain humble, man. Because you remain humble, individuals are going to notice that.
That's why we gonna be number one. Cause I'm a humble cat too. Even like the questions you asked me, it's a lot of places I could be going boasting about the work that I've done, like how you was mentioning, and really be on some like I think I'm the man type stuff. But I know it's a whole lot more work I got to do because I'm gonna earn that spot before I talk about I got it.
And also as well, man, speaking of gotten it, man, you know what I mean? August 28th, man, 2021, you actually showcased your talents actually on stage, man, at the Money Moves and Hard Life Presents, Artist Night. I was wondering, what was it like to actually get back on stage after this terrible pandemic? And of course, man, do you have any up-and-coming shows currently that you want to let our listeners know about so they can snag themselves some tickets?
Man, it was interesting being there, and I had a surgery on my leg, so I was on a knee scooter at the time. But the vibe and the feel of just being on that stage is like my home. So I kind of felt like my leg wasn't even messed up or nothing. I started like getting in the mood. I was like, I need that feel again. I'm ready now though. I'm finna get in practice mode of a lot of new music that I've done. That feel, I hunger it. Like I can't wait until everything. It's like they cut our lifeline off when they did that. Like it was the craziest thing. Like we still ain't got over that yet. And I'm gonna put something together for you, man. I'm gonna put like a package together to send it to you, and you can help me promote this new album. We're gonna do some talking. I'm gonna hit you up. You can help me promote this new album. It's a free radio station I'm gonna get with, and I'm just gonna deal with y'all. And they want to hear it, they're gonna have to come to y'all. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of this, and I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you.
Hey, man, I appreciate you as well, man. If you send it, you already know I'm going to spin it down here in Canada, man. But when you actually mentioned a few moments ago about how, you know, like, the whole world kind of cut off the lifeline for the artists, man, I hear you on that, man. I was seeing a lot of artists during the pandemic, you know what I mean, talking about how streaming doesn't really pay and how the shows are how you guys bring in the money. And honestly, man, like, I always thought, me personally as a fan, I didn't think Spotify paid so less money, man, when I actually was doing it. But then I did my research and I realized pennies don't pay the bills.
Yeah, you know, I'm blessed for Snoop to have gave us that distribution because it put me on all platforms, from Tidal to Spotify to everything. And how artists make a lot of their money is not just Spotify. You got to be on all the platforms and be spending on all the platforms. So when your royalties be coming in, it's not just them particular songs. Because I got a song called Just One that it went big overseas, and I'm like 3 million streams in on that song by itself. And that's what gave me a general look at how the income worked. And by the deal Snoop gave us, we can see all our graphics, what city, state we spinning in, whatever. It's a trick to this new business that they started. It's a lot different from what people was used to where it's going. And like I said, I'm just blessed that Snoop gave us this distribution so long ago that we was already set up and we didn't know it. It's like it came to us. We didn't go to it looking to it for it. Well, for me, I didn't go to it looking for it. It's like it was the more we went into the future, it was coming to me. And I was saying I couldn't realize it. And then the more and more I started getting spins and my royalty checks started picking up and coming, I was just like, man, it's some work to do it and get it the way that it needs to be done, but it can be done. And I ain't doing no fake streams, none of that stuff. I ain't doing none of that stuff. All right, you ain't gonna make no money like that. A lot of people do it for the look, so people can say, "Oh, I got these numbers, but them are not organic views and streams, so it's not gonna add up. It's like you're defeating the purpose of doing it."
And also as well, I have to ask, man, what is next for yourself, Hardhead? Because I do know you mentioned you got a brand new album on the way. But other than that, man, is there anything else we missed? Anything else you still want to talk about or promote? Well, we still got you here live on the radio station dial out here in Canada.
Yeah, man. What I've been doing, I've been actually hard here. I got a location, a new location where we put the studio together. I built a green room, a white room, a bar. We just finished the stage. We built a room where we go do the podcast from. And I put a pool table, the studio here. Well, I got two booths here now. Well, really like two different studios hooked up to where yeah, the barbershop is here. I bought all the stuff to where I could do all my own New West gear, which you get at me on my Instagram, Hardhead Music, MUZIK. I got all the T-shirts, the masks, the hats. I got everything to do everything. I've been getting together so when we do come back out and get into these shows, I'm going to have everything that I need to do what I got to do without no mainstream company. All this stuff I've been doing like independently myself with my team and just taking the cost for everything that's been going on. So I just been getting this. I left San Bernardino, so I done structured myself now to where all I need is promotion to get back out and get to doing these shows, and it's a wrap. Well, I don't even want to tell them the name of the album yet because I'm not officially sure what I'm going to name it. Oh, but you could best believe I got some hitters on there, and it's going to be one of the hardest projects that I done put out. And between me, Tim G, and one of my producers, Dean, we produced all the beats, and I'm doing all the mixing and mastering all them songs. And y'all go check out that Liquor and Tree if you haven't, because that is a certified banger. And you will hear me in your club near you when we can get back outside to perform that song.
And also as well, Hardhead, this is the time in the interview, man, that I give a chance for the individual that does slide into the radio station airwaves. Just a chance to give, like, shout-outs to whomever they want to give shout-outs to. And I know you already dropped your IG handle, but if you can, man, drop the rest of your social media handles as well. That way our listeners can follow you on all platforms and stay updated on everything Hardhead.
Yeah, like I said, my Instagram is Hardhead Music, MUZIK. I'll be on there a lot because I got it to where I can feed all my other social sites. And on my Facebook, it's Hardhead, but, you know, they try to make you put your government on there. I just can't. Man, this stuff is going too far. So you can find me at the Deshaun Jetter Hardhead. And my Twitter is Hardhead #1. And then, you know, you can go to the New West Association Instagram, too, that we running. And we got the New West Association Facebook. And we got the NewWestAssociation.com that we finna be running the podcast from. I'm actually not waiting for the dude to come right now because we finna go over hooking it up to where we're gonna be running straight from the website. So that's NewWestAssociation.com. And I'm on every platform, and you can find me on YouTube at Hardhead Topic. That's through my Empire Distribution YouTube that they make for me with all my music and all my videos. And I'm on Vivo. You can look me up on Hardhead on Vivo. I'm everywhere.
But I gotta say, first and foremost, Hardhead, thank you so much, man, for just taking the time out of your busy evening and sliding into the 97.7 FM airwaves, man. It definitely was an honor and most definitely a privilege to welcome the West Coast's finest MC right here on the Canadian FM dial this evening.
Oh, you know I had to get on the #1 station in Canada, man. I couldn't go without that. Somebody got to do it.
Hey, man, I gotta say first and foremost, man, I definitely appreciate you just for your time here this evening and sharing some of these dope hip-hop stories. And I gotta say first and foremost, man, thank you for years of monumental music that not only myself, but many, many of our listeners had the opportunity to enjoy for so many years, man. We definitely appreciate you, and we're looking forward to hearing that brand new record when it does drop in the near future.
Oh, yeah, man, I got some more years in me for y'all with this. I got this album. You're going to, like I said, we're going to communicate, and I'm going to put some stuff together so we can do some releases, and we'll work it out. And I appreciate you, too, man, and thanks for the love. And to all my fans and everybody that's listening to me, it ain't no us without y'all.
Hey, man, you are most certainly welcome, Hardhead. I got to say first and foremost, man, I definitely hope you have a wonderful night out there on the West Coast, and hopefully we can do this sometime. We can do this again sometime soon. But for now, man, definitely have yourself a wonderful night.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. You too, boss.